Hello and welcome everybody. I am Gatisha, General Manager for Content and Strategy at CX Location Funds. And here is where we're going to have a lovely conversation on how we are preparing in our digital transformation effort and what exactly is the impact it is on organizations and people at large. I have with me two excellent and eminent personalities who are going to be with me in this conversation. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Madhusudan Kohli, Vice President for User Experience at Ben Corbin and Company Limited. Thank you very much for being here. We also have with us Mr. Kumar, who is Chief Information Security Officer for Tech Performance India. Thank you, Kumar, for joining us.
Thank you, and for having us.
So yes, we've seen that over the last couple of years, digital transformation efforts have actually accelerated by leaps and bounds. And of course, the last 3 years, they've seen COVID as on the catalyst for all these digital transformation efforts going in the right trajectory that we always wanted into as IT professionals. The question that I had is that, a couple of years hence, do you think that digital transformation efforts have actually yielded the results that we wanted them to?
Yes or no, because it all depends upon how the organizations are driving it. But you're right, he said in the last 3 years post-pandemic, I think it is really accelerated. In one way, I usually say it's no longer the digital transformation, it is actually the digital disruption. Because the transformation still happens over a period of time and then you reach somewhere. But I think now in the kind of an era that we have, it's just continuous disruption. You're always on the toes. Right? Especially in my line of business, post-pandemic, people have actually seen the value that IT can bring in because nobody thought about overnight, right? They can do the enablement. And enablement not at a smaller level, but at the entire organizational level. Suddenly you had an office which was being operated from 5, 10, 20 locations, and then you have 6,000, 10,000 remote offices being operated. And that's how today the satellite offices are operating. And then we are almost over 10,000 people for almost about 8 to 10 months working remotely, and that how the infrastructure was designed. And now, what has also happened is the expectation from IT has increased, right? Previously it was, can this be done or how? Now it is, how soon this can be done, right? So I think the value that primarily again people need to look at is where certain people have really been able to do is work really invested in the technology, right? Thing is that some of them have still not been able to correlate the outcome that they want. That's where most of the organizations actually fail. They don't have a short-term success or a long-term success where they want to. Sometimes they just look at it with the industry peer pressure and start talking about the digital transformation. But I think that's very important to look at your own maturity more, where you are, right? What kind of, I think I look at holistically the combination of people, process, technology on that. And then how everything is helping transform your business order. It's transformation today is, while the idea is taken the center stage, it is primarily the investments are going towards the business. And that's where, if you're able to make the difference to the business and the big business can capture it in certain ways, then you can say, yes, the transformation has happened. If not, then I think primarily in my language, that's just an technical and an operational execution that people are.
Now, I couldn't agree more with that assertion, and I totally concur with it. And yes, as you rightly pointed out, he is that three-part approach with things like the people, processes, and the technology. Kumar, I would like to understand from you that while we have been making these transformations then, and everything has been working for all the organizations at large, where do you see the process from what they were and how they have become now?
So I think I would say when COVID happened, I think the organizations were already in the digital transformation journey, right? It just kind of made it a mandate rather than, kind of keeping it as like optional thing or a good to have. It became must to have. And as what digital transformation has essentially already simply put is doing is the automation, right? There are manual ways of doing the things, and then there are I would say digital interruptions, digital transformations, whatever we call them. But I think the way the world is moving has changed a lot because of the digital transformation. Now, you don't need to be, standing in the queues if you were to talk about the consumerization of the technology. If you talk about, the way you are now operating, you don't need to be in your business operating model to be really, commuting on a daily basis to be somewhere. It is impacting the industry also a lot. A lot of budgets earlier used to be for, heavy the, I would say, the maintenance, the oversee visits, various things. I think that's where it has impacted, like the way we interact, the way we work, the way we deliver, the way we engage. I think everything has been, kind of disrupted a lot, and which is for the good. There are, I would say plus and minuses of both the things, right? Certain industries have got of flourished because of, this transformation, and certain industries obviously have taken a, kind of hit on that. So I think it is an evolving journey. It has evolved a lot, but yes, there's a lot to come with the latest technologies, which are coming. There's been a huge impetus on the AI now, which is further, I think, putting a spur on the digital transformation that we are yet to see.
Absolutely. And man, this is a journey that is ongoing, and we still have quite a lot of miles to, traverse and achieve the end goal. My question to you, Sumit, would be then with the transformation that we're all witnessing, the one big transformation that we've seen is the expectation that the end needs to have. That's the one all the users. How do our transformation efforts actually relate this new thing or person?
But in the layers to it, and it's just not to be a user experience. And we talked about, there have been the two components when I was looking into transforming, even post-pandemic, right? It was just part about user enablement. It is also about my business functions who are doing the business outside the organization. So there's the partner community that take care of our, and then there are, the other, the industry origin in the connects that they had, the terms of even you have retailers, you have consumers, so the experience for all of them practically transform. And so both internal as well as in external. Brown can look into this one. The business continuity is very important, and it's in any stage of whether you talk about technical execution, whether you talk about individual transformation, whether you talk about disruption of that. The first thing any organization would look for is their business value. The second thing that comes into in terms of the user experience and a product, because that's where that goes in that. Certainly, for my organization, we also had, it's an under 80 plus year old organization. We also had people who were associated with the organization for at least about 30 plus years on that, right? Well, they've been masters on doing what, the content creations and other, but they've not been that tech savvy. And suddenly you see the technology, the transformation as well. Traditionally, they have always been an on-desk user, and suddenly they have to go up with their remote thing on that. Their collaboration on this work, but they're sitting in a room and suddenly decide now, the paper has to print it, they get to like as the ad and the biggest trend on that. They also have to adopt the newsletter, right? The third thing also is a component is the digital enablement, right? How digitally we can move and empower that, because in way we talk about anytime, anywhere productivity of that, and which is always not that, right? Suddenly, and even my line of business, you always talk about it's a breaking news business, right? You have a news coming in at 12 a.m., you have news coming in at 3 a.m. Then, there are various editions which keep on publishing, and there are, different editorial that keeps on working. So how do we make sure we empower them with their digital transformation? The component to that is about your tools and automation on that, right? That automation, is it bringing efficiency to them? Is it simplifying the work for them? Primarily, I've seen, sometimes there's an overburden of technology as well. There are multiple tools to conference, there are multiple ways to go and share document on that. I think that user awareness is very, very important as well. And people need to be productive when you're deploying those technology, and they shouldn't be considering it as an overhead or a task.
Absolutely, and a transition for all to basically come on to a use those collaboration tools effectively, especially if they're not that tech savvy, is
the challenge is very important, because even if it's a technical organization, not everybody would be carrying the awareness on that. So you have to take everybody around.
Absolutely. And while all of this is happening, the one thing that we've seen is that the transformation brought with everybody going digital, and our methods changing, our operations, getting optimized and all of that. The one big area that probably exists with the workforce like this and a job really being a bit of the job achievements. So how have you seen those here working?
Interesting one. I think a very kind of logical, I would say, derivative of the digital transformation or any kind of transformation that is happening, because the more like your battlefield changes, these strategies change. What I see earlier is that, earlier it used to be like castle and moat approach to security. There used to be a perimeter and everybody's sitting inside. Now, with this, pandemic happening and this work from home coming in, the two things that went up about the physical boundaries are the end users. So users are not in office. Plus, the cloud adoption also happened, and it also kind of spurred a lot during this period. So when your data center has also moved out, now users are not in office, your assets, your servers are not in office, your data is not in office, so nothing is practically in sight, and you have to manage practically, logically, and remotely everything. So, as they say popularly, every endpoint has become a perimeter in itself, right? So earlier you had like 15 files, you had 15 entry points. Now you have got, let's say, 1,000 employees, you have got 1,000 entry points. Now the threat can come from anywhere. But with this kind of operating model changing so drastically, I think it was like a overnight shift that had to be kind of brought in the way we deal with the cybersecurity strategy, cybersecurity approach, and falling to that solutions and processes. I think they all have gone through a transformational change and a mindset change to keep kind of the security posture intact. So I think there's a lot still yet to catch up in that. But yeah, I think that approach to traditional security management has drastically changed.
Absolutely. With that, and my party question to both of you is, where do you see all this heading? What's the next big breakthrough that we all probably expect in the whole transformation gap of it?
I think the only thing which is expected post-pandemic is unpredictability. To be honest, if you just look at this, I still remember, sitting with our own leadership team and for framing our own strategy for next 3 to 5 years, and we had a big focus on, we were talking about Industry 4.0. Suddenly we saw that Web 3.0 as stuff, and then we started talking about Web 3.0, right? Then pandemic happened. Little bit focus here and there. And then if you look at this, even in any of the analyst reports, I have not seen any reference to Industry 4.0, I've not seen 3.0, everybody's talking about the AI, right? People still don't know, but everybody lost our back, right? And even without any mass adoption on that, it has actually become a double-edged sword. Somewhere people are thinking it's really, gonna make them more productive, right? There are people who are just thinking about their jobs may be at stake because of this. But I think the biggest risk is, again, it's about adoption on that, how that has to be adopted. Yesterday, when I was having some conversation with something, it's something that in case can be utilized internally within the organization as a return act, which is good to it really. But when you're putting it on externally for an organization, this actually poses bigger risk because you still have to evaluate your GRC's purpose.
Okay. Absolutely. The last bit.
Sure. So at this very least headache, I would say security is evolving and security will evolve as the underlying technology will evolve. So security none of just shadows the technology. The platforms keep on changing. Earlier we had wired networks. We used to ensure the security of the wired network. MPLS wireless, we are to work as security. Earlier we used to be like frame relays, VPNs, MPLS. The technology is changing, and the new approaches to security management changing. With the latest technologies, like as we hear today, like the HDR, MDRs, those kind of fusion and all the latest approach, there is zero trust. I think these all are kind of a natural progression to how we manage the security. So it's not about stop, as I see. Like I said, the battlefield will keep on changing. Earlier it used to be IP networks, then it was like IoT, OT, it is there. So as many as new technological advancements will keep happening, the new and new platforms, technology will keep on getting added. The security will have to be there to protect all those shapes and forms of the technologies, because at the end of the day, you have to protect what you are, kind of managing it as a business. So I think it will keep on evolving. It will not stop. But yes, the use of the latest technologies, especially the AI part, I think will bring in a lot of I would say a factor of the innovation, because I'm sure the bad guys would not stop at using that. In fact, they are always more proactive and big. So the good guys also have to kind of adopt to that, because there's no technology which is good or bad. It's like how you use that. So you have to adopt to the latest kind of weapons. If you have to fight the war of tomorrow, you can't rely on the weapons of the yesterday.
Absolutely. There are some elements, everything latest though. I couldn't agree more. fantastic. It was brilliant having this conversation with both of you, and we've been able to uncover some amazing jets beside right here. And as we go through the conversation, yes, this journey is going to be ongoing. Changes are what we are going to witness even in the future, and the one say that will stand for us is unpredictable. So, like we've rightly heard from both our eminent guests on this particular segment, is then the one thing that we can do is keep ourselves ahead, keep ourselves updated with what is coming latest, and of course strengthen our arsenal to walk through uncharted waters that we have in store for us. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in and listening to them.